What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EraBody's podcast, where generations collide and cultures combine. Today, we have a great show for you. As special guest for today, we have Master Seamstress Christie McGinnis of See So Stitch coming in and going to give you the tips about branding, fashion, and entrepreneurship. For now, it's your boy Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. What's up, Rick?
What's going on, D?
Man, another long week in New Orleans, man.
What's up?
Man, your house ain't getting any flooding. I know we ain't got no rain,
I'm
man.
in Algiers, my boy.
Man,
I'm in Algiers.
In New Orleans, Louisiana, our water system is called Sewage and Water Board, and we have 6 main breaks ever since January the 1st. That was the first one that came. It just so happened the next 5 came after Mardi Gras. All of them would have affected Mardi Gras, but I guess the Mardi Gras gods have spared them or whatever. But Rick, every week, a big water main.
Every week.
But I watched the interview of the temporary CEO in 2023. He predicted this. He said they're gonna start having huge water main breaks, and sure enough, right now.
They say the pipe's over 100 years old.
But and we talked about that when we always bring up St. Bernard Parish. After Hurricane Katrina, they fixed every street and they fixed that problem.
Right.
And it's like, which one of our guests, I can't think, the one that told us of why the streets buckled. Sage broke it down to us why our streets wasn't fixed like that. But if they would have did the same thing St. Bernard Parish did, took their time, they had the money.
So do you feel like it has anything to do with the streets? Or
No,
it's just
no,
they've been
that's
doing
what. No,
patchwork?
no. What I'm saying is St. Bernard Parish. They did the whole 9 yards. They did the streets and the whole 9 after Katrina.
Okay.
They had the money to do it, and they did right. They went ahead on and fixed it.
So why you feel like New Orleans didn't?
It's New Orleans is one of those shady between New Orleans and I have to give them this. Whoever originally structured these deals between New Orleans, the city, the state is heavily influenced with the city of New Orleans and what they can do or whatever. So with all those entities, other places, that's why they have parish presidents. They got the power, they vote, they get it done. Since New Orleans is the only major city in the state of Louisiana, close second, distant second to me is Baton Rouge. But the state is heavily involved with a lot that New Orleans got going on. Mm-hmm. Other places is not like that. They just call a shot. So I think that plays a part.
So you feel like the governor put up red tape?
No, it's just how it is in New Orleans. Yeah. That's like the convention center. A lot of people think that the convention center is in New Orleans. It's rain. Nah, the state, Harris Casino, not Caesar Casino. The state have a lot involved, so it's more of a partnership than New Orleans just can call his own shot. So I think that plays a part into it too, of them not being able to just call a shot. Because if you're trying to call a shot, if you say, I'm going to fix all the streets in the first quarter, that means revenue dollars going to be lost for the state. The state might say, nah, break it up. You got to sit at the table and talk to them. They say, nah, do one street at a time.
That's wild.
So that's the difference between New Orleans and, like, if you pay attention, everybody else got a parish president.
Right.
New Orleans have a mayor that's in partnership with the state on a lot of issues that deal with New Orleans. So I think that
I've seen people like on their little canoe boats. I've seen people surfboard.
And it's bad. One lady house 4:00 in the morning. I mean, and them the downstairs apartments, like them basement ones, just flooded.
Yeah.
Coming up like in 9 stop.
So did they give any refuge for those people and the stuff that they lost? Like, what's the plan behind it?
Now I hear they trying to put something together, because one lady, when the first one happened, her car got messed up real bad, and it was one of those situations with her. She was going on a cruise, so she came down here and parked her car by one of her family members' house to go to the cruise. Mm-hmm. And then when she came back off the cruise, her whole car was messed up.
Come on.
And it was a little battle because it made the news or whatever. So in these situations, man, it's just, what more can you do?
I mean, as a resident, I have no clue. But as the government and political officials, I feel like something need to be done because it's y'all's problem. We pay tax dollars. We play our part.
Right.
We need to make sure that we covered because I still haven't heard. I work with a few people too who stay uptown in those areas, and the man was like, "We don't hear nothing. You know,
Yeah.
all we hear is water running."
Yes, but I will say the new guy, the CEO, they have an Instagram page, and he oftentimes go live at the scene and explain, what's going on to the best of his ability. He's new on the job, so you got to give him his a time to work it out. But he has been transparent on his social media page. I don't know if everyone have one, but he has been transparent on how he want to go about fixing some of these issues. But like you said, when you got plumbing 100 years old, I don't know. All of it got to come up.
Yeah, everything got to come
The
up.
newest part of New Orleans is New Orleans East. So I guess start from should you start from the oldest community and work your way up? How would you go about deciding who go first?
I mean, I'm gonna leave that to the experts.
Yeah,
Honestly, because obviously they failed us already.
Yeah.
Because if someone predicted this in the past, they should have been already ahead of that.
But
curve.
this is the crazy part about it, and this is my working days. When I was working for both brothers, Louisiana and Napoleon, both came up all the way from Claiborne to the river. We 17 feet down. So they got new pipes and everything. So that part of the plumbing is good on there. Like you said, we have to get one of them on here. I've been reaching out. I reached out to the guy and asked him if he willing to come on, and we can ask him more questions to clear it up, and he can answer some tough questions. But this one of the things that you can't in modern day society without plumbing.
We in shambles.
Yeah.
All right.
So another thing, one of the most famous lawyers that we have down here is Fuller, John Fuller. He's he's the man. You get in trouble, you get Fuller on. You got a chance, a good chance with Fuller. He was running for judge. Now he's stepping up. I would like him personally to stay as an attorney, but he's stepping up as a judge. And it came out that he didn't pay his taxes in 1 year, so he took it to court. They upheld it. He took it to the next level, and then he went to the Supreme Court, and now they overturned it. Now he back on the ballot. So shouts out to Fuller, man. As an attorney, it takes it put a fair judge on the bench. It put a man that got trial experience on the bench. That's what you want from there. But it takes, I think, it weakened the lawyer circuit now and how many good lawyers they have, because when you're a judge, you only in one court. So you bring your experience. When you're a lawyer, you go into all the courts.
Right.
So now hopefully he seemed like he a brother. He got his own firm. He didn't sharpen up a couple of guys that can step into that role as New Orleans go-to attorney on a criminal level. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, so I always wondered about that. To become a judge, you have to
be a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, but it don't say like our DA Jason Williams. Jason Williams wasn't, for me knowing him, he was a council person. So, but he was a lawyer also, and he became. You got to be a district attorney. You have to be a lawyer first, and then to be a judge, you have to be a lawyer. So, but you don't have to be a practicing lawyer. So they got people that are to be a judge and actually wasn't a trial lawyer.
Oh, okay.
So that plays a part to me, because you're not used to being in court. But I would say with these good batches, and I'm shouts out to Jason Williams. I was talking to some lifers, some guys that had life in jail. They got out of jail. Excuse me, it's a group of them, and they were saying how Jason Williams plays a big part into all these guys, because Louisiana got the highest incarceration rate. On top of that, it have more people innocent that's getting out of jail. But Jason Williams, he got a little 20-year thing that he doing where, he feel as though 20 years is enough for any crime. So it allowed these guys, they got bad records, not to get the 80 years and the 70 years or whatever. Jason, if you got a bad rap sheet in 20, you may see 55 and get out.
Right.
But the 70 years, and you already 40 or you 30 years old, it seemed like, yeah. So I think that's why his conviction rate is high, in 20 years, anybody should be able. That's 2 decades. Could make some changes in their life. So now with Fuller on the bench, I think that, and he's one of those you can walk up to guys. Mm-hmm. So by him being a walk up guy that you could talk to, he been a dominant lawyer. So when he in there, you can't pull that job that simply, he can read it because he been on the other side. And I like that he got trial experience. Right. He hit the news with his cases. Mm-hmm. That's the great thing about it. So chances are on the ballot he gonna win. Chances are we can go to the party because I reach out to Fuller. I got a good relationship. Fuller got an Easter dinner also. Okay. I asked him. He said we can come to. Thanks, Fuller. He letting us. You see his Easter lunch that he all have every year?
I ain't.
Oh man, he got an Easter lunch where everybody wears suits, all the lawyers, top judges, or whatever, and he hosted at a restaurant. I reached out to him, asked him, "Can we come?" He said, "Yeah." Right, I said, "Man, y'all brothers show up." Yeah, y'all can come. Thanks, Fuller. Last but not least, I went to the Savannah Bananas game last night.
How was that, man?
Man,
I saw clips of it.
You talking about marketing at its best.
Yeah.
When the owner of the team brought this particular team, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. You got to know what lane you in, Rick, and he realized that nobody just want to come see. They're not a major league team. Mm-hmm. So just during a regular baseball game, they probably get about 200 people on the average. 200. Most of the time, you used to go ride by Zeppelin Stadium. It's empty.
Get in for free.
Yeah, you get in for free. And he look at it like, what people love, entertainment. So he don't try to dominate the game like that. He actually put entertainment in there. Now, I would say he go overboard with entertainment. I was getting so confused last night because from watching normal sporting events, when you're passing out T-shirts, is during a commercial break. He doing it during a game. Yeah. So you trying to watch for the T-shirt, and you look at the stream, they actually still at the back. They had a twerking contest. They had with old people or whatever. What? It was funny or whatever. It was so fun. When they first said twerking, I was like, this not the place. But they had some 70 and 80-year-olds out there, so it made everybody laugh. The DJ played music throughout the
game.
Yeah. And then the announcer, he working. He working. And then all the baseball players, when they go up, they had one guy, number 2, with a cape on. They got different. They had one guy, he cut his sleeve like Freddie Flintstone or whatever. So they got names or whatever. When they come into the bait, and then when their pictures come out, they come from the stands. Like they'll be sitting in the stands the whole time, and they be like, he's up on deck. Next thing you know, you see somebody running out of the stand.
Come on, man.
So it's the excitement the whole time. You looking up, you looking whatever, because for every inning when a new pitcher come in, they make a decision like how they gonna go pick him. They might call a fan up there and do something, and when they draft him, like to come pitch that inning, he come from the stands and he run out there, nothing but entertainment. Everybody, they sign everybody autograph. The people I seen with jerseys on, I was like, man, how they get so many jerseys? They show up 2 hours before the game, they sign so many jerseys. They had some kids, and then they had Champion Square, bro, packed and stacked. Yeah. Man, I said, man, it was out there 70,000.
70,000.
And it's not they selling out major league arenas.
That's crazy.
Everywhere they go.
But that's what people look for, especially when you're trying to bring families together.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times kids don't get to go to these events.
Yeah. And
monster truck events, that's all good. You know, there's a lot of noise and stuff. But for them to actually see adults having fun.
Yeah, and
that's a different experience.
Yeah, man. And it was that, man. It was that. Every kid was entertained. These kids was having fun because it was so entertaining. You're catching shirts, and it's not like I've been at the Pelicans game where they shooting and the little thing can't go way to the top. Mm-hmm. They already got people up top. When they throw shirts, all over the arena or whatever. You don't feel as though like
you got your shirt.
It was close in my area. Yeah. So I had good seats, but many times if you get tickets, somebody gives you some tickets and they not in the right area, you're not gonna get no tickets because even the little gun they have don't go that far. Right. But they put people throughout the thing. So when they start drawing, they start drawing. Yeah. So now you feel as though like it came in my area, so I really have a chance. So I didn't win nothing. But their fan base is big. They a lot of people had their jerseys on.
That's pretty cool.
And they sponsors, they go over and beyond for their sponsors. The people that ask for sponsors. Dunkin' Donut gave us the tickets, so they shouted Dunkin' Donuts out, and they got the crowd to say donuts, donuts, and they had to put a circle up or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you Dunkin' Donuts and pay for those tickets, you're happy with the response as being a sponsor. All these sponsors, they even had the Saints quarterback came on there and ran.
I seen that clip.
And he drove when he caught the touchdown. He did the old Joe Horn. Remember when Joe Horn went under the thing and got the cell phone? He went in the back and got the cell phone, came out there and talked, and then he did a selfie with everybody. So that's how entertaining. But when that happened and it was going on, the game still was going on. That was in a whole nother part of the field.
I thought that was pregame.
No, that as he came out and did that, that's going on way over here in the outfield. And the game's still going on.
Boy,
that's where we get confused.
Boy, it sounds like you had more fun than magic over there.
Yeah, but my son enjoyed himself, man. It was a lot of entertainment, man. You just got to get out and do more family things. So shout out for the Savannah Bananas. They call it Banana Ball, man. Mm-hmm. And this episode is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee. Let's take a drink. Everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And as we promised you, we have the master seamstress, Christie McGinnis, in here with us today. Thank you for coming through, Christie.
What's up, Christie?
Yeah, before we get started, give our audience a little bit about who you are. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
So my name is Christie McGinnis. My business name is CeSo Stitch. I'm the best in the city. I am the stitch dealer, but what inspired me is the struggle. I started out, it all happened once I had a child. Once I had a child, she became my motivation. It started out in my living room on the sofa, breastfeeding. That's how I got into my business. I was sick as a dog, didn't have no job to go to. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go to the stores. So one day I was like, she needs something to protect her hair. So I ordered a sewing machine. And I was like, I felt like I was going through postpartum. So I wanted to resize my garments and all that to fit me because I felt like I wasn't, I just didn't feel myself. So I ordered a machine from Walmart actually during COVID when I had my baby. And I YouTubed it how to make a bonnet for my baby hair. And I YouTubed it and I made a bonnet. And what I did was I posted on social media like I was selling it. So somebody was like, I want a bonnet too. And I'm like, yeah, $25. So I had to go back into YouTube and learn how to do a bonnet all over again because of course it was for an adult and not a child head. So right. I went ahead and did a bonnet. So by me sitting on the sofa breastfeeding had nothing to do with it. I looked at the machine and the machine had letters on it. It was a single needle machine. I got it for like $300 from Walmart. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to sew thread the machine. I didn't know the different colors to put. I didn't know nothing about sewing. It just came to me, just YouTube and everything. So I was like, let me see how to make a bonnet all over again. So once I made that bonnet, I put it up there and I said, yeah, I'm selling bonnets.
So, yeah, most people start with like shirts, hats. You started with a bonnet.
I started out with a single bonnet.
A bonnet.
And yeah, so once I made a child bonnet and a grown-up bonnet, adult bonnet, I started making mommy and me bonnets as sets. So that's how they came about. And once I saw the letters on my machine, A and B's and C's, I'm like, what does this mean? And I clicked on it and I YouTube my sewing machine all over again. They say it's a 2-in-1 machine. It's a sewing machine and embroidery machine. I didn't know it was a difference between just sewing and embroidering. So I started putting names on bonnets. And
okay.
That's how I started.
So what's the difference between a sewing machine and an embroidery machine since you
that's the same question.
So a sewing machine is just sewing, just stitching. You just can stitch, just put pieces together. Just, make clothing with it. You can sew anything together. An embroidery machine is where you could put letters, numbers, images, anything that's embroidering on a garment. So you could have a sewing machine and not an embroidery machine. You could have an embroidery machine and not a sewing machine.
So is it multi-purpose? Can you sew on an embroidery machine? Can you still stitch something up?
Luckily enough, my machine that they don't sell no more can do that. But most machines, we call them one needles. They don't do that. It's either that or an embroidery.
Why you
machine.
think they stopped selling the one that do both?
Just money. just money.
They said so. Now, if you need parts or whatever, you gotta try to go find it somewhere else.
I could get it on Amazon. It's easy because it's an old machine. So many people after the hurricane got into an embroidery. It's popular now. So the parts for that machine, that single needle machine, is easy to acquire.
Yeah. Since you started learning, do you teach other people? Do you start at a class from teaching?
Yes, I do one-on-one class as well. I do group settings if there's like 3 or more, but I teach one-on-one. My favorite people to teach is the kids.
Yeah. Put it out there. How would they contact you or whatever to?
So they could contact me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. They could email me at csostitch@gmail.com, or they could inbox me on one of my platforms, or they could call me on my business phone number.
All right, man, there you go, man. And in New Orleans, with our culture, with the Indian suits, the Mardi Gras clubs, the social and pleasure clubs, New Orleans is a big place because you got to personalize your stuff. Do you find out that doing business with these clubs or whatever, you like doing them, doing whole suits from the ground up?
That's a good question. With the social and pleasure club, it's kind of a difference because when you making suits and stuff, that's more like a seamstress.
Right.
I'm working on making suits and stuff. I wish I'm willing to get to that level, but when you're talking about beading and stuff, that's a whole different ball game.
All right, so me and Rick, we wear suits all the time or whatever. So if you need somebody to practice on, and
just put that out there, huh?
Put that out there. All right. You know, we got our sizes. We'll send it over there to you or whatever if you want to get into the suit thing. But to learn this skill, and YouTube do work, y'all.
Yeah.
I got a master at YouTube University. Now not everything can come good off YouTube, all right? I don't trust a doctor that come off YouTube, all right? But how many times it took you to, once you did that first one, you just went through it? The instructions was that good, or you made a couple of mistakes and then got to it? Talk to me.
Doing it, I made a lot of mistakes. When I first got my sewing machine with a one needle, when I first did the name, it was too small. Like, I didn't realize that until I actually got better. It was too small. We have to learn what goes together. So if I stitch, if the material is orange, black, red, and white, you have to get a color of that stitch that's gonna make that color pop. And when I look back at my work, my work wasn't popping. It wasn't standing out because my stitch color faded into the garment itself. So it's all about sizing. It's all about the font. So I had to learn how to do all that.
So you say the best in the city, right?
I'm the best.
That's your slogan.
Yeah.
Like, how does that come about, knowing that there's so many other creators and people who's been around so long? How do you classify yourself as the best in the city? Mm-hmm. What separates your work from theirs? Our audience need to know that also.
So the reason why I'm the best in the city, I say because I have passion in what I'm doing. I don't do it just for income. I really love doing embroidery work, and I sit here and study. A lot of people do embroidery. They don't study. So I look at the details. Every color counts. The stitch work counts. You know, some people stitch work be balling up. You ever seen a t-shirt and the logo be balling up and stuff? It's all about the backing. It's all about the depth of the stitch because it's about density in the stitch work. So when you realize all that, you realize I'm the best in the city, and I just don't push out, just anything. So I do it over and over again until I get it right. And I study big businesses out here, and that's why I say I'm the best in the city, because I am.
Yeah. I feel like I know there's one thing too with you, not to cut you off, D, I want to get this out, that you do faces.
Yeah.
Like that is extremely hard and creative. I really didn't know people get into like face portrait embroidery. Take us down, how did that come about and how did you know this could be an avenue for you?
So what really got me into the portrait work, when I started, I really didn't see anybody out here doing embroidery. What really got me into portrait work, this guy came and bought me his logo, and his logo was like an anime type of face. And I'm like, if I could stitch this, it had eyes and a mouth to it, then I could stitch my brother who passed away. I can stitch my other brother who passed away, and I can stitch my mom. So that's what really got me into the RIP stuff. So once I did his logo, I told my niece, I said, give me a sweatshirt and send me a picture. And I have that with me today. And that was my first piece of, piece of artwork that I did. And once I did that, I just felt connected to doing something nobody else was doing that I didn't see out here in New Orleans. And, I want to relate. And also, it was an outlet of a coping mechanism for me, so I can relate to the ones who lost other loved ones, because I lost like 3-4 of them.
Yeah, that's part. It's a sad part, but that's always a part of New Orleans culture. Normally, we ask this question in the beginning, but we didn't ask you. Where you from at in New Orleans?
I'm from the West Bank. I'm from the Best Bank. Everything the best when it comes to Cecil Stitch. I'm from the Best Bank.
Algiers, Marrero.
So I was born in Marrero, moved to Algiers, and I grew up in Westwego once my mom passed away.
So you from Harvey?
Yeah. That's basically what she really said.
Let's get that right.
Westwego to the 1.5, the Fisher. My family is from the Fisher.
Okay.
How is that experience like growing up on West? You're the first person that we had that's dominated, didn't play both sides of the river. Most the other guests that we had, they stayed on both sides, so you predominantly stayed on the West. How was your upbringing coming up?
My upbringing, it was a struggle. My upbringing, Westwego, the country. I said, man, I gotta get up out of here.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. When you watching videos and everything, and you from the Westwego, do it feel like, man, if I'm here, I ain't gonna never be popping or whatever, man?
Listen,
can you put Westwego on the map? Can that be done? Can anybody do it?
To be honest with you, the Westwego can't be on the map because we got some people from Westwego
put them on there.
that really came through. They have businesses, they have big businesses, and it's all work, no play. When it comes to the West Bank, it's all work, no play from the different sides that I've seen. But they got some hustlers across the river, and that's what in New Orleans, and that's what made me really stick to New Orleans. They have some. I'm talking about rain, sleet, snow, or shine. That's a big difference. They have some actually hustlers, and I've been on this side of the river for a minute now, like 11, 12 years. So I love the culture. I love everything about it. And let me remind you, once I came to the other side, I don't even go to Westwego.
The other side will do you. We will steal you. So I will. In growing up in that is it slower?
It's very slow. I had to learn a lot, and I started, just hopping on buses in high school. I went to Higgins, and I used to cross that water every day. I used to get in trouble every day crossing that water.
I met a girl one time, and she told me to come by her, and I was like, we used to stay on the West Bank. Rick, I am not about to catch no bus from New Orleans to Desire to Canal Street to cross that big old bridge or whatever and come back over here. Nah.
It's peaceful though. Like when I raising a child and all that, I had to go back to the West Bank. I had to.
Yeah.
I had to. The education is different, everything different, but the culture I bring across the river every weekend because I want her to know what else there is outside too. The hustler, the work ethic. It's a different, it's different. That's what really motivated me when I seen people in New Orleans, the big businesses, the hustle in them.
And it's no shot to the people that's gonna watch this from the West Bank that's come there, but it's always a discussion of whether it's Harvey, Westwego, and all that. It's no shot to you guys, But it's a difference. That's the only thing we highlighting. So don't come in our inbox thinking we coming for y'all top or whatever.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know,
So and this one of your own saying that what I noticed that if you get older, I go that way because I'm older. But when you young and you trying to make a name and you trying to do business, you have to come this way because it just you won't get that juice like going that way. So
a lot of my supporters is from the other side. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I would have stayed on this side. 7 wall, 8 wall, 9 wall, I'm outside. You know, it's just the people, the culture. It's like sunshine once I cross the river.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't be touched once I cross the sea on the West Bank. I'm looking in my rearview mirror. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot that comes with the West Bank. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and you're more focused on the West Bank. I can tell you that it's not peace and quiet. We shutting it down at 9 o'clock. You know, time to go to work in the morning. See across the river.
It's all night. That's 24-hour access.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, Lord.
So when who gave you your first big opportunity that you feel as though like I'm on now, I got it. They called me. Who was that person that's once because in my business I was in several of them when the school board started calling me. I feel like, boy, I'm on now. They didn't look me up. I wasn't even looking for them. They found me. So who was that person that out of something that gave you a opportunity and take it? Who was that person? Shout them out.
You want me to be honest?
Go ahead.
I'm still waiting for that person.
Oh, so
I only say that because I done dealt with a lot of people with a name in New Orleans, but I feel like the position they was in, they felt like I should
bow down.
To
All right,
him.
go ahead, talk.
And I just never met the person, but like, you the one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You the one. I thought I had that one person, but when it came to that payment,
Yeah.
it was a different story. So to be honest, I'm still like every single person, like I felt like the people who really gave me that motivation was the individuals. That one single
Right.
person, those single individuals, no big business, they still support me. That's the people.
And I'm glad you said that. Oftentimes that when somebody got a name, and I hate when celebrities do this because they're the worst clients ever. If you want to come in on a business deal, come in that. If you say, well, look, I'm big on social media. I need this done. Would you be interested in? You put that on the table first. A person know how to deal with you because you're leveraging your popularity for the work, and then hopefully it spin off to more sales for you. But they'll come in as if they want a big job until it's time to pay, and then when it's time to pay, and we hear this a lot with celebrities, especially since social media have made people bigger than what they are because of likes or whatever. And the payments still have to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So walk us through that too, because we know as entrepreneurs, they have people when you create custom work, you can't get that back. Have you ever had that experience to where people you have beaten then created this product and the individuals don't actually pay? How did you overcome that moment of losing product and producing, but you didn't get in return?
It's many.
give me a napkin.
It's the biggest
You
names
cry,
that I'm
Mom.
not gonna say.
You can cry.
But yeah, like I work with some of the biggest, and I was so excited. I mean, my biggest customer, I feel like the head honcho. That logo alone, the stitch out alone took me 6 hours to do. I mean, I got into every detail, every such and such. And the problem with them is, you know who I am. I have a name. You know my background. So why should I pay you up front until the work is done? With that, I'm not pulling it off the machine until you pay me. So, and it will always stand out to me because this person was the only person I gave my address to, and they was outside just cutting up in front of my door, and it was like the turnaround was within 2 days, you know. So I got to go through the mental process first to even think about the colors, what colors on my machine, you know. It's a whole mental thing first you got to do because I got to get my mind prepared and set up. Then it's I gotta set up my machine. Before I set up my machine, I gotta clean my machine. So I gotta pick out the colors. I gotta pick out, I gotta match the colors. So it's a long process, and that person really just didn't understand. So when they didn't want to pay me, it made me feel down. I turn up my machine, I go to sleep for like a whole week, just depressed, because why it didn't feel like I was enough to pay for my work. Bad enough, I don't feel like I charge you enough. And the little money that I charge you, you think I should stitch it out first and then get paid?
Right.
So yeah, that's heartbreaking in business.
It's heartbreaking.
So do you feel like it's because your personality? Because you're very, very soft spoken. And in business you gotta have the heart of a lion.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, as business progress for you, do you feel like you're getting the mentality that you need? Because 2020 was COVID, 2019. So you've been in business, what, 6-7 years, right? But do you feel like you're adapting to the entrepreneur of your calling?
Yes, I say my downfall to me is that I smile too much.
I won't say it's a down.
Like,
hold on, it's not a downfall or whatever. It's they say the fox is one of the deadliest animals, but it look like it's smiling, but it's growling or whatever. So its kill rate is high. So I don't think that's a bad thing. That's just part of customer service or whatever. So don't look at it as a downfall. On the back end, when it's time to take care of business and all that, that could be taken care of. That you could be smiling, the same smile, but this inverse right here needs to be taken care of. Yeah, that's it. But the same smile.
The second part, like when I really sit here and think about it, I think my problem for me, I'm a woman. Not only I'm a woman, but I'm a single woman. So that person that I dealt with that time, to get rid of him, to get him straight, I had to call a male friend. And I think in the industry, men respect men off the dump. Like once that male got on the phone with him, he straightened up, tuck his little shirt in, and I was like, oh wow. So I think when they try to take advantage that I'm a single woman, and once I put that male on, they straighten up. But yes, I have been. This what we gonna do. I'm not taking no half payments. So yeah, I really got down to business.
Yeah.
Because really, I'm mean. So I really had to try to lighten up when it comes to business, because I used to be like, no, I ain't doing it. So, and I think I just be trying. I used to try to balance it out, but business is business. Now I really had to put everything on paper, and I really had to do everything in a contract from that day forward, because I wasn't taking nothing else.
And that's standing on business. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's standing on business. But it's good to hear those stories, especially as entrepreneurs coming in, because everybody see the glitz and the glam, but they don't see or hear about those stories where people actually have barriers that they have to climb. And one is being confident, and it sounds like you have built your confidence. Even if you got to pull the little demon out the closet, where he at, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good stories, and I'm happy to see your progress and happy to really get to know you,
And just to piggyback off what Rick said, when it comes down to you doing it, it's a learning, because everyone wants to be as successful as Target, Walmart, Chick-fil-A. It's a journey. It ain't always sweet or whatever. So this is some of those before you wasn't writing everything down on paper. If you didn't get played in your face, you wouldn't have made the adjustment by putting everything on paper. To go to the next level, everything got to be on paper.
Everything. And those circumstances, after that, I wake up. When I get behind the machine, I push out the best work. It made me angry. It made me mad. So I push out the best work once I get it. If you ever watch my work, that means, and I did a great job, somebody probably pissed me off.
Yeah. So that's fuel.
I'm about to show you what's going.
So the madder she get,
the better work.
Rick put the audience.
So make sure she's extremely mad.
I want to put it.
Clean this machine extra good, because who you think you're playing with?
So oftentimes, me and Rick. So do you put the initials in engraved like that?
Yes, I do. I did RIP. I did a few of them with the initial, and it's collar and the sleeve.
Yeah, I need mine.
Yeah,
I need that like
okay.
yesterday. I went to a young lady. I got a great relationship with her husband, but that's why I won't say their name. I wanted her to do it. She did 15 of my shirts. I said the sleeve. It was a miscommunication. She put DDP, my initials, where you got this at, here instead of on my sleeve. So when I went to go pick up my shirts, I say, this is not the sleeve. So it was I got shirts with big old my initials in the middle of the shirt. And I'm saying to myself, like, you don't see when pastors get their thing they engraved like that, but it was 15 of my shirts. I was so, and it was like, it wasn't in writing. It was like, I'm looking like, how we gonna fix this? But I just chalked it up.
Well, that person know who you're talking about. Just to clarify that.
Yeah. So, but I ain't saying their name. Yeah, but they know. I was kind of mad, but it was like when I say sleeve, and I'm thinking in my mind when I'm putting the order in and I drop the shirts off. Yeah. Just a little small initials in my shirt.
Can I ask you something? How did you write that order up? How did she write it up? Did she write it on paper?
She did work for me before. We didn't write it. We didn't write it up. It was one of those things that we did work before. She do now. The work was great work, but it just was in the wrong spot.
You ever seen a sleeve before? That she did?
No.
So when it comes to embroidery, when it comes to stuff like that, you really have to know what you're doing. And when I'm saying different areas on the garment, we need different tools, right? So say if I do a hat, I might put a hat on what is called a hat hoop. So it's a round thing. You put it on the hat
I've seen
hoop.
That before.
Or I could use my hoops, the flat hoops. So when you're talking about sleeves, like a shirt, I can hoop it on my hoop station and do a shirt all day. But when it comes to sleeves, it's small, it's little. So I need a smaller hoop size. So either I'm going to use my 2x2 probably, which is too small, or I'm going to use my 5x5 hoop. So it's a different process when it comes to different, places on the garments, and she probably didn't know how to put it on the sleeve. So that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, well, I don't know if she did, but she did several jobs for me before, so we didn't have the problem. And the work was good. It just was in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And it cost me 15 shirts. Ooh. Good shirts.
So with that, I made a few mistakes behind closed doors, and I used to be like, I'm telling you, it used to be like, these people bought me a shirt, that's the only thing I have. I done messed up. How can I fix it? Well, I had to go back on YouTube. So what I stitch, I can unstitch it now.
What?
So before I give you your shirts, I'm about to sit here and unstitch it, and I'm about to do it all over again. I'm going to do it all over again. So I had to learn how to not poke holes in my garments, because I used to poke holes in my garments. Like you can't, if you stitch something, I can't just pop off the thread from the top. You got to go from the bottom and unstitch that. But in order to do it right, you have to have the right type of back and underneath your garment. So all that counts when it comes to embroidery.
So you have to be mad to do that too?
Huh?
You have to be mad to do that also?
No. I mean, when I do it, I be mad.
Yeah. I got another question. People don't understand that there is a process. We talking about the stitch process, but it's a word that the logos is a process that those logos or images have to go through. What's the name of that process that is not registering to me right now?
So that process is called digitizing. Digitizing a logo is, with embroidery, is taking a picture, artwork, and putting it into stitch form. So digitizing, everybody charge a fee. Some people probably charge you $10. Some people probably charge you $50. A lot of people charge $85. So it depends on that person. And when it comes to embroidery prices, that's what it really counts. If she charged you $15 for your shirt, if it was a picture, this person could charge you $15 for a stitch out, but your digitizing fee could be $50 from him, but you might come and I charge you $85. I might charge you $5 to sew it on. So when it comes to digitizing, the fees vary.
Okay.
So I go by stitch count. I go by the depth of your logo. I look at all that to charge. For picture logos, $85 off the dump for digitizing.
Okay.
I'm not about to play with you when it comes to that.
So that's the term, digitizing.
We're going to take a quick commercial break right quick.
Tell everybody.
Welcome back, man. As we promised you, we was going to have some work for y'all, as y'all can see. But I want to make this statement. You guys, entrepreneur, this just goes to show you, if you put your mind to something, you can do it. And you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start a sewing machine pregnant at home to producing this type of work or whatever, and willing to consistently learn, no matter what field you're in. One thing that you impressed me by, you say I'm a student. Continue to learn and not being satisfied where it take you, because you know it's more and more information out there. This just only what you know so far. So we have some of these products right here, and this where you talked about where you started at, the bindings, Mommy and Me. Let's talk about it.
The Mommy and Me bindings, it came from me wanting to protect my child head, and it was an adult that wanted to bind it after I did my child binding. So I came up with the logo, the slogan, Mommy and Me binding. So once that became popular, I went on to the next thing. I started putting the images on T-shirts, but it all started off with the bindings.
Yeah, show them the logo up there.
Oh, this is Rocky. So I did a whole set of Paw Patrol, So this is the child one. This is the mommy one.
You still do them a lot?
No, but I say I need to get back to it, because once I started doing this, I saw somebody else started riding the bandwagon. Yeah. And this really sold. It really sold. And the reason why I want to start doing them a lot, because it brings out my creativity side. And I think I really got depressed, to be honest with you, when I started doing business T-shirt.
And I would say this, that once you start getting knocked off, that means you made it. Yeah. It's work being knocked off. The number one knockoff watch is Rolex. The number one knockoff tennis shoe is Jordan. Mm-hmm. The best of the number one knockoff cell phone is is one of those things. You made it. Yeah. Or whatever. Don't look at it as that. That means you got to keep on going. All right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah. A lot of problems we run into too as creators, right? Mm-hmm. When you're in a custom fields, it's just like you have Rocky on there. With utilizing images that's copywritten. Have you ever ran into any infringements as it pertains to your work?
No. And I thought about that before, so that's why I really started doing personal logos, but I never ran into that before. I studied it. A lot of people talk about it when it comes to the embroidery work, but I never ran into it. But I want to get back to it. I really do, because not only did I started doing bindings, I don't have one now, but I also did do-rags for daddy and son. But I don't have any do-rag. It's all
do men still wear do-rags?
No, yeah, I don't think. I think you.
I did the hospital caps. I did a lot of caps, and they really was selling. Somebody just gave me an image to do with their business T-shirt, and I ran with it. But I have to get back to this because it brings out my creativity side. I learned measurements and cuts by doing bindings, the size and all that. With compared to business logos, it's just like it's straightforward. It's not bringing out my creativity. So I do want to get back to it. It's a big seller.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Most women that wear bindings, they have a daughter. I think that. Their daughter, I know my daughter wear it. My fiance don't, but my daughter always have a binder on. So
that's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. So this one here is so impressive to me. I know you say you got into business, but Brother Malcolm, and it looked just like him. I mean, you cannot. Let me get this out the way, y'all. This don't even tell a story on how Brother Malcolm, who wanted that? It was a Black Panther or something? Talk to us.
So it's just stuff that I need to get back to be honest with you. I mean, this when it comes to my old work, you see my creativity side. So I really want to. So when I did Malcolm X, I like his slogan, I like his logo, I like what he stood for. But the reason why I picked this picture is because of the detailing. Of the image. So I want to play with colors. I want to learn how to play with colors and see what colors collide. So that's why you see the different details in his face. Also, when you come down to here, the difference between the X in his face, this is called applique or applique. They call it applique. That's when you take a piece of material and you put it on top of the garment and you stitch around, and you have to cut it and then stitch the outline. So that's called applique. So I really was practicing on this piece. I also was practicing on how to put the words, because I did, you have to put the words into place. So I really was practicing on this piece of logo. I also was practicing the outline. So this really a practice piece, but it came out very nice.
I like it.
Yeah, it's dope. Real dope.
Yeah.
It came out very nice.
Real dope.
It's and we see your very first one. Not that one. We know this one here. This the one got to be your pride and joy.
That's my pride and joy.
Elevation.
One because it's my niece. So when I talk about the details of the logo and the stitch in the back and all that, you can see that in this piece of logo, it's kind of balling up. So you could tell this image was bigger, and I kind of shrank her down. So when it comes down to the density, all that counts. When it comes down to the outline, all that counts. When it comes down to the color, all that counts. Because why would I put black around her lips? So this is my first piece that I practiced on, and after this, I just took off.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and this episode is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee.
Everybody, tell everybody.
Welcome back, man. We have enjoyed you, but we have the end with Do You Remember? It's a segment where we talk about TV shows, radio shows, just take you back in time to see, do you remember? You in or you out?
I'm in.
Right, that's what.
Ain't left out.
The first question I want to ask you, when you have an event at your house, when someone have an event at their house, and then they say, "Oh boy, I gotta work in the morning," what does that mean?
My grandma didn't go to work.
No, if they have an event by their house and they get late, it get over, and they start saying, "Man, I gotta work in the morning, boy. I gotta get up early in the morning." What does that mean?
They gotta hustle and bustle on their way back, but they stay a little longer. They stay a
No,
little.
what that mean?
That mean your ass gotta go.
It's
time. Yeah, they trying to tell you it's time for you to get out of there.
Time for me to get out of
Yeah,
here, man.
you
I gotta
get
work
up
in the
out of
morning.
here.
They go to yawn and
It's just crazy because my house was the house where people came to.
So you was a hangout house.
Yeah, my grandma had the bar room, and after that, we was the bar room. So we had to work in the morning.
Oh,
we had to clean up in the morning.
Yeah.
So grandma was like,
grandma.
shit, you could put your pallet down, you could stay over, huh?
We was the work.
When you come from a party house like that, did you start drinking early?
No.
No, I'm just saying because we had a party house too, and you was responsible for somebody to hand you a cigarette and be like, go light it on the stove. Did you have to do runs like that?
I mean, we tried a few things behind her bar. Like I remember like the Bloody Mary, because I used to be like, why would she have this back at the Bloody Mary? But no, it never led me to drinking.
You had a Bloody Mary before, Ray?
Yeah, I did. But when I was older,
yeah,
I can't do it. Oh, they very nasty.
Nasty.
Very nasty.
On the TV show Martin, you familiar with that TV show?
Somewhat.
All right. On the TV show Martin, why did Gina had to work in Shanae hair salon?
I don't remember.
Well, ask our audience. She don't remember. Ask our audience.
Why she had to work?
Why did Gina had to go work in Shanae hair salon? On this particular episode, Gina accidentally drove Martin basketball tickets down on trash chute. So Shanae, she thought she threw them down. She dropped them on the ground. When she dropped them on the ground, Shanae picked them up. And Shanae told her, I got 2 tickets to the game, but you'll have to work in my salon. And that's how she had to go work down there. And then when Gina saw the tickets, she realized that was her tickets all along. But Shanae got a whole day of work out of it.
What?
Yeah,
I remember that episode, but I couldn't put pinpoint what actually happened. I really remember
still
that.
stands to this day that.
What? Work?
That's how people get you.
I think it was so much.
It's already for you, but they gonna make you work for it.
Yeah, I think on that episode, I don't much think that Shanae realized until they started talking about it that she had the tickets. I thought she just found some tickets.
What?
Yeah. But I think getting a work out of your neighbor, a whole shift, and she had to do her hair. She had to have a hairstyle like Shanae.
Man, we all know Shanae know. Shanae orchestrated that whole thing.
Man, Shanae
It had to come out this apartment, somebody in this apartment.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So on this last one, I want to ask you, you got your sisters and brothers at the house. You got to do a $20 old school New Orleans store run, corner store run. You got to feed the whole house. What are you getting? $20 store run.
What I'm getting noodles. I'm getting rice. I'm getting bread. I'm getting peanut butter and jelly. I'm getting lunch of meat.
$20? You only got $20. You got $20.
Back in the day, right?
But that 20 you got $20. All right, break it down. Break it down. All right, you're getting a loaf of bread.
Lunch of meat.
Lunch of meat. How much?
It's a lot of us. You say sisters and brothers. I'm the baby of 9, so it's I need a lot
That
of
20.
lunch of meat.
So what you getting?
But
A
look,
pound?
It depends on where I'm going because we was raised off Suda foods, and if you know about Suda foods,
Well, teach me. I ain't never heard of
What
Suda
is
never
Suda
heard
food?
of Suda foods.
That must be in Harvey.
That must be the
It's gotta be in
we had
Harvey.
commodity in New Orleans. So all right, go ahead, break it down.
It's
All
commodity.
right,
Suda Foods was located in Bridge City, across the river. I think it was across the river, whatever, in Bridge City. I know we had to cross the bridge. You would be longer way to go to Suda Foods. So we used to give our grandpa 25 cents for a box of popcorn. 25 cents for a whole loaf of bread. So Suda Foods is where they bring the food to once they expire or going to expire. So you're getting that for pennies.
So hold on, is it? They got a couple of more days and they expire, or the date on there then passed?
They have a couple of more days. It probably expired a month ago. When you go buy the food, you probably got little bugs flying around.
Oh no!
Oh, y'all
hold
took chances
on.
like that?
Wait,
You asked me
wait, hold
what
on.
am I
Hold
getting?
on.
For me,
I'm going to Suda
let me
Foods.
clarify. Let me clean this up a little bit. Expiration dates,
Yeah.
just from working in the food industry, expiration
not
date
extra,
is
the
just
expiration
is
date. Yeah.
expected to end by
Yeah,
that
that's
the
what I'm trying to
store
say,
can
but
no longer.
Even
but the
we stayed in the
bug,
project, we never went over.
Yeah.
Like nigga, you looking at this
Yeah.
not good. So y'all go over.
You have to understand your foods. Nowadays they put a lot of pets, whatever, in the foods these days. But back in the day, man, we was getting that food by pennies.
Yeah.
And it's something. If you look at your food label, it says sell by or expire by. And
Right.
you still have probably a week. And
But
what
we
I
stood
learned?
on that.
yeah,
We stood on
yeah.
If you
Now I
ever-
do.
And to be honest with you, if I go to the store today or tomorrow and I'm on a $20 budget, I'm gonna get some yogurt. Yogurt ain't about to expire on you. Like yogurt.
So and when you go to this place, what you can get? They got all type of food there.
They got all type of food. You talking about from Winn-Dixie. You talking about from Walmart. You talking about from every grocery store possible. They send it to Suda Foods because they got to push it out.
Is Suda Food still here?
Yeah, they still here.
I never heard of Suda
They got a
Food.
little pricey, but they
Yeah.
still here.
And
But-
so that's when you was in West Wego.
Yeah, West Wego.
If you would have just came a little more up, you would have got food stamps and commodity.
Right.
That would have been.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to Suda Foods.
Yeah.
I'm
Man.
going to Suda because they products then got better. They they got the veggie out. They got everything in it. It's just a regular store, but you about to buy everything for 25 cents.
I'm about to go.
85 cents.
And where's located at now?
It's located
Bridge
in
City?
Yeah, Bridge City across the water. It's like
Oh, it's a
across
West
the
Bank.
We
water.
It's
could
a
probably
West Bank
Google
thing.
it.
Yeah.
We could probably Google it.
Suda
That's
Foods.
pretty cool to know. I'm glad.
SUDA. SUDA. Suda Foods.
Right. And go ahead and tell our audience where they can find you at and how they can get in contact with you.
Well, my name is Cecil Stitch. I'm the best in the city. I am the Stitch Dealer. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Cecil Stitch, or you can email me at cecilstitch@gmail.com. I'm the best in the city.
And once again, I'm the Honorable Darren D. Pernetta, street speaker himself. And don't forget to get our book on Amazon, Businessman. Yo, Rick.
Well, you heard the man. Businessman is on Amazon right now. I hope that this episode was just as informative to you as it was to us. And for us, you can find us on EraBody's podcast. That's EraBody's podcast on all social media sites. And we out. Peace.
Peace.